Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Today's guest is Lynsey J. Grace. I'm very proud to have her on here. I'm actually trying to make sure I set up things a little bit better. Had to switch to my iPad, get things a little bit better here for us. I'm going to try to set this lighting up a little bit better. But Lynsey, how you doing?
Hey, cousin, thank you so much for having me. You asked the question how I'm doing. Like I always say for my mom, blessed and highly favored. So thank you again. I'm so proud of you and what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
You're
The
welcome.
It's great to have you on here. Going to talk a little bit about you, highlight you. You know, hey, Joey Gonzalez, first one to comment today.
Hi, Joey. Thanks
Uh,
for joining us.
yeah, good dude. Hey, Lynsey Grace. I don't know who that is, but it says Facebook user, but hello. So what we're gonna
Hello,
do
hello.
today, we're just gonna highlight you from your days here in New Bedford, playing all kinds of sports, basketball, softball, even baseball with the boys, so basketball with the boys. We're gonna go into all that, but
Okay.
the I'm trying not to miss anything, I'm trying to go based on memory because we switched locations here. So um but no biggie. I know a lot about you, so it's gonna be a good podcast, great podcast,
Thank you.
and God's gonna make it good. So
Amen.
all right.
Give 'em all thanks and praise.
Yeah. So
I wish I could have sent you a better sweatshirt. I'm a Giants fan and being in Philly, I guess I'm an Eagles fan as well, but I guess I'll make sure to
that's
send you one.
that's this is red, white, and blue. That's very un-American of you to just talk
That's
talk
just
about.
stir up some comments in this section.
Yeah, the Giants are not any closer to the Super Bowl. And
You're right.
I
You're right.
just
We're
although
both on the couch. We're both on the couch watching, cousin.
I I love their running back. He's
Yes.
definitely that guy's top notch. So
Yes.
um, if I can get him on my fantasy football team, I'm rooting for the Giants. Other than
Oh,
that,
I had him on my fantasy football team, so
yeah. So the one thing I want to start is start the podcast off with is I was checking the record books in New Bedford, and I found out that Lynsey J. Grace, you have the shortest road trip to school, to the high school,
oh
and
man.
it's in the Guinness Book of Records. That you you traveled less than a block,
Wow.
and it's amazing that and you didn't even tip the driver. You didn't even tip the driver bringing you to school for 4 years straight.
Oh,
You didn't.
cousin, I can't hear you. You're breaking
Yeah.
up, cousin. Can you
Oh,
see me?
okay.
Can you hear
All
me?
right. All right. So, all right. Let's look. I'm messing up things here. The let's 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 talk about softball. All right. So you're a little girl growing up, and what made you start thinking about playing sports, playing softball? Who was that inspiration for you?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I love your little segue for everyone listening. And thank you to all the viewers who's ever tuning in. Again, I'm very proud of my cousin Charlie, love him dearly, as well as my whole family. First and foremost, before we begin, I always give all thanks and praise to God. This is why we're all here. So thank you, God, for having me here and allowing me to be here on this amazing podcast with my cousin. You touched upon something very funny. Yes, I did live across the street. And I had the most tardiness as class president. I was tardy every day. So my dad would drop me off, my mom would drop me off. I had gym teachers, Miss Regina. Miss McLeod. There's this other plethora of people that would fight over to drop me off. And then not only would they drop me off home, I would get a ride to the softball field. So I think that was funny that you remember that, cousin. So thank you.
That's amazing. You could, from your doorstep to the school, you could hit a softball that far
Yes.
and hit the school. And
Yes.
then you can go in the other direction. Let's say that's, maybe right field. You can hit it to right field on the side of your house and still go to the softball field. So it's amazing that you were able to around all those bases and then you couldn't even run across the street.
No. And I would always have an excuse. Oh, the power went off. They're like, Lynsey, the power didn't go off in the high school. I'm like, oh, all right.
It's amazing.
I know, cousin. But
Yeah.
to answer your question, baseball was always my first love. I was blessed first and foremost. Hi, mom. Hi, dad. Hi, Tyson Ray. My number one fans. Everyone knows my loving family. If it wasn't for their sacrifices and for me being born, I wouldn't be here. So again, love all of you and thank you for everything you've done for me and continue to do for me. So thank you. I might get a little teary-eyed because I'm going to talk about Auntie Mimi. My mom's sister, eldest sister, and if I think I'm correct, eldest sister, who actually went outside in the backyard when I was 2. Yes, I can remember that very, very vividly. 2 years of age, and I would throw the ball around. I had my cap turned backwards, and I would throw the ball. And my mom said that she came up to my father and my mother saying, she's going places with baseball. So baseball was always something that I loved, that I was, it was a God-given talent. But I actually wanted to play basketball at University of Connecticut. But I played baseball with the guys, with the men, with the boys, the boys and then with the men. It's funny, I'm going to give a shout out to Marcus Holtman, Isaiah Holtman. Marcus always calls me legend. Well, they're legends. Dante Balistracci. I have a whole list because I don't want to leave anybody out. But Boys and Girls Club. She's just with basketball. Tony's Bruins. Coach Tony Esteves, you need to get on this podcast because you're amazing. And more people like myself just want to thank you for all that you've done in our community and continue to do. You took me on as a girl. With playing with boys, and I never want to play with girls because I was so used to playing with boys, and I became strong. Not saying that women aren't strong, girls aren't strong, but I became stronger. And I hope I'm not wrapping around. I'm just trying to remember everything for your question. But Auntie Mimi, give her everything because she's the one that planted the seeds inside of me to be something. Playing in the backyard with my dad. I have so many stories about my dad. My dad coached me my entire life. When I was a little kid, he used to, be in the backyard. I want to pitch, and that's what I was, a pitcher. And it got to the point, like I would always throw the ball, and I just want to not necessarily hurt his hand, but I want to throw the ball so high just to show, like, Dad, I can do it. I can be just like the boys. Just I'm working on it. And he never told me until I was older, probably till high school or college. He was like, Lynsey, you know why I stopped catching you? I said, no, why did you stop? He was like, because you actually hurt my hand. And I was like, what? He was like, I would never tell you, but you actually hurt my hand. And I was like, what? He was like, I never wanted it to get to your head. And that's one thing that I love about my mom, my dad, and my sister, Tyson Ray, who's my number one fan. Hey, beautiful. My parents and my sister never allowed.
Are you talking about me? Beautiful?
Oh, hey, beautiful cousin. No, Tyson Ray's beautiful. That's the nickname, beautiful. They never allowed. And my dad told me, said, the day it gets to your head is the day that I stop coaching you and will no longer be here to support you. Yeah. And that went a long way with me. And I've been blessed. And again, you're going to hear that word a lot because we're all blessed. We have the last name Grace, as you know. Grace is in Perry's. You know how close we are. We've always been close. But in elementary school, I mean, my dad got me with Tonka tumblers. I got to tear up as well because Coach Toy Forts, who is like literally like a second dad to me, passed away. I took that very hard when I got the phone call from my auntie Chloe, who nicknamed me Fam. I'm called Family because I love my family. And took that very hard because he taught me, how to become flexible, how to use your body, which then was a segue, negated me to make sure I'm the athlete I am. My dad was very our bowling. So I went from bowling, gymnastics, basketball, baseball. I played volleyball in high school. Coach Neil Macedo, Coach Larry Oliver. How can I forget Mickey Gonzalez? I mean, I couldn't stand my name, cousin. Like it was, he was always on me. But he was oh my, Coach Gonzalez to be coaching in Division I, WNBA. Phenomenal coach who I love dearly, along with Coach Tony Estes and Boys and Girls Club. Shout out to Robbie Mendes, Dave Concesio, Sue, Bernadette Souza, Mr. Vincent, cousin Charlie. Man, with boxing, he'd always talk to us about, hey, always aspire to what you want to be, what you want to do. So I know I'm going around in a circle, but it's being a part of our community. We're all proud to be Cape Verdean, Portuguese, whatever you may be. We're a proud community. Away. I cannot receiving the sacraments. Being a church lector, Dorothy, Dot Lopes, teaching me how to enunciate. Sister Mariana. We're blessed to be part of the church, being, Cape Verdean, being Catholic. My mom's prayers. I mean, there's no other more God-fearing, God-loving person that I know in my life, more than my mom. And again, and I'm going to mention all the family and our family because I want everyone to get their thank yous. And then at the end, I really want to say thank you for the Hall of Fame. People that I wasn't able to because I was really humbled. I didn't expect people to go. I don't like, as you notice, I'm not really talking about me. I'm talking about everybody else. I get nervous, speaking about me, talking about me, because there's so many people without everyone, without, Coach Russell Souza, who helped me with hitting, so I was able to play professionally. Coach Harry Lowe, who allowed me to coach in high school at softball. There's just so many people I just want to thank. And if I do forget, I apologize, but I thank everyone. I thank you, cousin, the day that I was probably at one of my lowest, and you posted that Facebook, and I was literally in my bedroom crying. I called you on the phone crying, like, people like you and the family and just friends, just like, you never know when you need that. Everybody needs that person just to say, hey,
True.
you can, to speak those words, to sow those seeds, and thank you. And thank you, cousin Michelle. I know you're in the background probably listening, but love you too, cousin Michelle. And thank you.
Hey, I'm at my girlfriend's house. Shh.
Oh, don't you, I'll come right through now. Philadelphia's only a 5-hour ride.
Hey, no, hey, all joking aside, man, I remember when Michelle and I were watching you, and babysitting you, and we dressed you up. We dressed you up in a UMass dress,
Oh,
and you were so proud of that. Why don't you talk to your teammates about your UMass dress that you had? You
oh
know,
no, I definitely know. No, Temple all the way to you. No,
that was, you were so happy.
no.
Yeah, we put your we put your hair in pigtails, and you had a UMass Amherst dress on and everything.
Listen, if I have friends over here listening to Temple, never that.
Yeah.
Cousin Michelle, I need you. Help me.
you know, uh, well, I'm only lying, folks, to all that Temple alumni out there. She never wore anything UMass. I always teased her
Yes.
about UMass and Temple and so on and so forth. But I love Temple. I grew up watching Temple basketball. So,
Yes.
and
It's funny that you said that. If you don't mind me interrupting real quick, because you
but
mentioned Temple. And again, a huge shout out to Coach Kenny Soares, who's my softball coach in high school. So love you, Coach Soares. Thank you for everything. Temple University was my avenue to college. My parents couldn't afford for me to go to college. And through God's amazing grace, I was able to, be considered a recruited a walk-on. I was recruited at, well, now I can say this, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. My coach passed away. Rest in peace, Coach Rocky Pignoli. But I actually got recruited at 13, which is a major violation. He thought I was older than what I was. And when he found out my age, he said, whoa, that's it. I can't talk to you.
yeah,
So long story short, after my dreams of playing basketball at University of Connecticut for the Huskies, Coach Gino Ariema, I called Coach Rocky and I said, hey, is that scholarship on the table still? And he said, who's this? I was like, it's Lynsey Grace. It was like, it's your senior year. You're calling me now. He said, listen, this is what I can do for you. Be considered a recruited walk-on. You get everything. And then depending how you play, you get a scholarship. So a lot of people think that I received a scholarship right away. No, nothing has ever been given to me. I worked very hard for that. So as a recruited walk-on, Division I level, I received my full ride scholarship for the next 3 years. Praise God. But I became very, very close with Coach John Chaney, who passed away, which also took that very hard, and as well as Coach Don Staley. Both avid supporters of Temple softball at Temple University. Coach Chaney would come, Coach Don Staley would come watch us, but an amazing man, not only as a coach, but he had a policy which most people don't know and realize is that he gave a 3-year scholarship. The person I was dating on his team at the time told me, he was like, I only have 3 years. I said, what are you talking about? You need 4 years to graduate college. He was like, no, Coach Chaney only gives 3 years because he believes in academics first. So student before the athlete, as well as Coach Don Staley. She gave 4-year scholarships, but amazing, just amazing two people. That's why I love Temple. I love their philosophy. I love what they stand for. And Temple, along with God, first and foremost, has made me the person I am today. So,
You tell your folks you were dating Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. He called me Little Rudy, right? I said, I'll be a little Rudy. Bill Cosby, Mr. Cosby. Oh man, he would be everywhere. He would be at all the games. Never came to softball, but that's okay, Mr. Cosby. But he was an advocate for women's sports, so which was great. And nobody realized that he's in the Hall of Fame. He was a phenomenal track and field star, All-American, as well as a football All-American at Temple University.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Good thing. That's a positive. Got to keep it positive. So, all right, you go, you start thinking about playing. You play baseball. I watch you down at Dias Field.
Yes.
There,
yes.
With your pops. Cousin Frank. And then was it Joe Lopes, right? Coach Lopes, was he with us?
I have it all written down, names, because again, the Dice Field started off with T-ball. Little League was with my dad, my cousin Franklin, who was a Marine, rest in peace. So he did serve our country. The Birdie and Vets, Pony League, but it was with T-ball was with my dad, Dr. Dana, and Billy Firmino. That was the corner sports baseball for T-ball. And my dad said I would never like the T. I would get mad. I would have like a hissy fit. Like, no, I need you to pitch to me. I don't want to hit off the T. So I thought that was pretty funny, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's those are great days. I actually there's no way. What are you watching? Are you listening to something else?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I have my notes.
What's all that noise? That background. You are on the Really Charlie podcast. You shouldn't be concentrating on TV, Instagram.
Oh, I'm near the airport, cousin.
You're near the airport?
Yeah, I live right next to, in Philadelphia, I live right next to the PHL, the airport. So what you're hearing is the planes. The planes are literally this close to my house. I have lines in front of my apartment.
You better buy a house in New Bedford then. What's wrong with you?
Hey, I'm trying to get back, so God willing.
I think it was your dad. Maybe no, it was your Uncle Anthony. He told me. He told me he came down to see you and you struck out 4 times in softball.
What?
So they started calling you Special K. Because your name was a K, and
man, no, my dad's nickname was Special K. Let me tell you a little story about my dad.
Yeah.
So he would always try to give me insightful feedback about hitting until Papa, rest in peace, my grandfather who served our country, World War II vet, Army, go Papa. Played baseball, was a very good athlete growing up. So the Grace name represented, love him, miss him dearly. But my dad played baseball for the Birdie and Vets underneath Papa, who coached him. Mm-hmm. And I think his batting average was like 1.668, right? So when Papa told me that, I said, I said, Dad, you over here getting upset and you're hitting a 168. And he was like, exactly. So that's why I would know, how to teach you how to hit. So that was funny. That was
Well,
very funny.
he thought he was bowling. Then
Oh,
once
yeah.
he ain't bowling, that's the only way he could beat Tyson.
Yeah. Oh, Tyson. Let me tell you, my sister Tyson Ray, for all you out there, and thank you for whoever's writing in. I'm seeing pop-ups. Love all of you. Thank you, viewers. Mwah, love all of you. My sister averages like 180. I think one time she got a 210. Cousin Charlie, she beat you. She beat me. My sister can bowl.
She
My sister can bowl.
Listen. Don't put that out there that Tyson beat me. I beat the champ.
Oh,
I beat the champ.
yes, my fault. Wait, I
I
just got your
beat.
text saying don't do that. My fault.
I beat. She does. She loves her bowling, man. She really
Yeah.
does.
And if you
So
can see in the background, shout
yeah.
out to Dr. Susan Costa and Tony Costa. Dr. Susan Costa, actually, that's my Christmas gift. She painted that. So of all the female athletes, basketball, tennis, baseball. So if anybody's looking, Dr. Susan Costa is a wonderful artist, painter. So yes, that's her in the background.
That's nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. So you play tempo, do great. You know,
Thank you.
you introduced me to some beautiful teammates of yours over the years. Cassie, my slugger.
Oh man, she can still hit.
That give her next time you see her, if you do, give her a big hug.
Yes, we'll do.
And so
We'll do. She played for DePaul, man. DePaul University, big time Division 1, made it to World Series. Phenomenal
that's
athlete.
it. Yeah, former home of Coach Dave Lato.
Yes.
Not there anymore, but he'll get
We're
on his.
very proud of you, Coach. Very proud of you, Coach. We
That's
love
right.
you.
Shout out to Dave Lato.
Yes.
I was hoping he was able. They quickened that hiring process at Boston College, but that would have been nice. For him to coach
Would have
that
loved that.
that school, kind of home of Keithy Francis. That would have been
Oh,
nice to have another New Bedford guy there at BC.
that would
But
have been amazing. When he was at DePaul, he actually had a couple of Temple University transfers. So
oh,
I
okay,
thought that was really cool. So I thought that's awesome. Coach, best wishes. Have you in my prayers because you're amazing. So keep it
yeah,
up.
yeah, it'll be all right. So
Yes.
let's see. Rhonda Perry said, "Yay, Lindsay! Hi, cousin."
Cousin Rhonda. Love you, miss you, cousin.
Got another athlete there, Dwight Majetti.
Hey, Dwight.
Dwight
Thank
right
you.
there. So the let's talk about your favorite game at New Bedford High School, and then your
Okay.
favorite game at Temple University.
Wow. Ooh, my favorite game. Hmm. For each sport, because if we're going for volleyball, basketball, softball, or just typically softball, or what would you like?
Tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks? Okay. Uh,
No, any. Well, let's kind of. I mean, we can put all of them in there. Because what that shows is the type of athlete you was, well rounded. Um, Definitely, they. If they if your let me say, if your father allowed it, your mother allowed it, you probably would have played football too. You
oh,
know,
I wanted to.
yeah.
I wanted to play for, I think the Tavaz had a team somewhat, and down at Buttonwood Park, and my dad was like, absolutely not. I draw the line there. But I wanted to play so bad. My dad saved me. I mean, you know me, I was scrawny back then. Now, I got the COVID weight, the winter weight, the all the weight. So, but back then I was a little kid, and my dad definitely saved me. But let's begin with volleyball again. Shout out to Coach Larry Oliver, who coached me JV team as a freshman. And then I was able to play varsity under Coach Neil Macedo. Coach Macedo, he retired, I think, a few years ago. So amazing. Taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about volleyball. I was able to play underneath his regime my sophomore, junior, and senior year. So the most vivid memory that I have for volleyball is when we beat Barnstable. As you know, Barnstable was #1, state champions back to back to back, and we finally beat them one game. This was during the season. But when we got to my senior year to actually make it on to, I think, the semifinals for states, we were up 2 games. And if everybody knows, at that time it was 5 games for the set, 5 sets. And I'm thinking I already have the newspaper articles going. I'm like, 2 games, we're 2 games up. All we need is one more, the best out of 5. Oh, and all of a sudden, cousin, they came back and whooped us. 3 sets. Boom, boom, boom. And I can't remember his name, who always did the sports section of the news. He would always call me Amazing Grace. And they caught me on the floor like crying. Like I bawled my eyes out because I wanted the state championship ring so bad. Never even got one out of my whole career at New Bedford High School. But I remember just Coach Neil Macedo just, put his arm around me and was like, listen, you gave everything. That's all I can ask. And for a coach to, yes, was he, disappointed, upset, but never made us feel, he already knew we felt bad. So I took that coaching philosophy with me. I remember those things. So thank you, Coach Macedo and Coach Oliver. But basketball would be on the Coach Mickey Gonzalez. Mwah, love you, Coach. When we went undefeated, I played JV my freshman and sophomore year, and then varsity senior year. And Coach Gonzalez, we went undefeated. And I'll never forget beating Brockton, the big 3, beating Brockton and Durfee. And it was the final game. We had about maybe a minute left. And one of my teammates got fouled and made their free throws. And then I got fouled and fouled. And then fouled. I got kneed in the thigh, which, it's the worst. And making those free throws. So we're up by 1. And, I was always the defensive. I was the hacker. Everyone knew. I was that goon that they sent in, cousin. I was the hacker. And I was proud of the hacker, but I was point guard, playing with people like, Rosemary Perry, my cousin, we just had a bond that nobody could ever break. And that was thanks to Coach Mickey Gonzalez. We were a sisterhood. And that taught me moving on to college, like how important we weren't even girls. We were like transitioning to becoming women. And a lot of times we as women, we tend to nitpick and bring each other down sometimes. But he always helped us to cut together. We were a track team. We could outrun anybody because that's all we did. Suicides on the line. That's all you heard. But he really, that was important to him that we always stayed together. We would have spaghetti dinners at my place or somewhere else somebody else would host. So I always remember those memories. They were great memories. And then last would be softball and the Coach Kenny Soares. Let me just tell you a quick story. My dad was like, make sure you mention that. I was like, okay. So when I tried out as a freshman for softball, and, we had the freshmen together, sophomores together, junior and seniors, at the big field, the varsity level. And, I'm trying out, whatever. And Coach Boz pulled me aside and Coach Hammy, remember Coach Hamlet?
Mm-hmm.
Coach Boz took me and said, hey, Lynn, let me talk to you. Come take a walk with me. I was like, okay. Did I do something wrong? Like, he was like, no, come take a walk with me. I was like, okay, just grab your stuff. I'm like, okay. He's like, hey, I got some bad news for you, kiddo. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's like, you didn't make it.
Wow.
I said, I didn't make it. I said, what do you mean? Like, I understand I didn't make JV. I didn't make freshman. He was like, yeah, no, I'm so sorry. But I was like, what the heck? I didn't even make freshman squad? Now I can feel my eyes starting to water. I'm like, not even the freshman squad? He was like, I'm sorry. He was like, you're going to varsity. I said, what? I said, no, I don't want to go to varsity. Like, I don't mind freshman JV, with my friends. I said, I don't want to go to varsity. He said, yes, you are. You're going to go in the gym. I'm going to walk you and you're going to sit, with the varsity squad. So I go in the gym and I sit down and, I never mention names, but y'all know who you are. There was a few people that were like, what are you doing here, freshman? I said, well, coach said for me to sit here. They're like, no, get up and go with your freshman and sophomore, your freshman. I said, oh, okay. So I can get up, walk over to the freshman, and I get yelled at. Coach is like, didn't I tell you, go over there? I was like, but they said, he was like, you listen to me. I said, okay. So I go back, sit down, and I'm by myself. And I'm like, oh my God. And then Coach Soares was like, oh, let's welcome freshman Lynsey J. Grace, to the team, blah, blah. And he always called me Magic. That was my name, my nickname, first baseman Magic. And one of the seniors that was going for first base was like, and I was like, okay, like, hey, don't get mad at me. I'm trying. And then at one of the games, that was one of the best memories that she patted me and lifted me up. It was like, I love you. You're thank you. We needed that. We needed a good first baseman to scoop up things, and I'm sorry for the way I treated you. And I was like, wow, like I'm finally part of the group. You had to really push your weight. And, the first game I thought I could steal. I was coming from baseball, so I'm stealing. Like I'm doing a leadoff. I'm not stealing a leadoff, like when you take the baseball and the umpire was like, out. And I'm like, what? And I'm getting screamed at by Coach Source. Coach Source was like, Magic, what are you doing? I said, I thought we could take leads. He was like, this is softball. I'm like, I don't know. So I got thrown out. So my dad was like, make sure you mention that story. But when all said and done, New Bedford has always been a centerpiece of my heart with sports. I mean, our community is so supportive, and I've had so many memories. And I think each coach, I think all my teammates, I think all my family members, I think God always, first and foremost, I think the church, I think everything I've been part of, which has led me to who I am now. So thank you. And shout out to the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, that's it. Good times there,
Man, great times. Reebok, we did basketball at Reebok on the Dave Kinsey show, going, to the, I don't think it was Brandeis University, getting to meet Robert Parrish, Robbie and Dave and Bernadette Sue, like, Mr. Vincent, Nelson, like these people are who groomed us, the kids, they took us all. Whether you Rockville West, whether you Potter Street, like it didn't matter. Bay Village, like this is where the dreams are made, was in the Boys and Girls Club gym. I'll tell you that much. So thank you.
Yeah, it's some I mean, it seems cliche that everyone always kinds of thanks, the boys clubs all over the country.
Yes.
But it's such a great organization and
Yes.
great people. And you see that once the staff members get there, they don't want to leave. They could probably go to other places and higher salaries, but you know what? There's something about being in that atmosphere that could just kind of keep you on a stride
Yes.
and one kid after another, one parent after another that you're dealing with, and you just don't want to leave it. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Coach Consatio was had an option to go back and get the same money he's making now,
oh man,
he beat it. He beat it tomorrow. He beat it tonight.
Yes.
Beat it tonight.
And remember the summer leagues, cousin? The summer leagues, the camps. We traveled more being a part of Boys and Girls Club than anywhere else. I mean, we got to see ponds, we got to see lakes, bowling. Like we actually got the bowl in the Boys and Girls Club. And for all of you that, do remember bowling. I mean, it was just and then playing the bumper. Remember the bumper pool and the free throw competitions and all the games and the snacks. I love my snacks. The chips and the candy. Like it was lifelong friends. That's where we all united. Shantae Soares, it was big time with track. We all were together. We were all close. Aaron Brittle, like all of us, Blair Ramus, again, Isaiah Marcus, all the legends in New Bedford who have, done great things. So Shiona Rose, Lashana Barbosa, again, if I'm missing people, you know who you are. Love you.
That's it. Good roll call there. I like that. I love that you're mentioning people. Here's Alita Mello, Alita.
Hi, Alita. Love you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aaron Campini's another one. Dante Balistracci. Like, list goes on. List goes on.
So you're getting towards the tail end of your career at Temple, and now you got to make a decision what you're going to do. And so the softballs, it's now in the back of your mind. Do you think that you're going to go on and move on, and you eventually do move on to another team after Temple? But initially, I don't think you prepared for that. And can you tell the story about who approached you about playing to another level?
Yes, it was actually I think everybody has that dream of going on to play professionally. You know, to end my career at Temple University, we were the first team to make it to the regionals. So we went to University of Arizona. Quick story. All excited. We win the Atlantic 10 championship. We beat UMass Amherst. Everyone's crying. Everyone's excited. We dumped the Gatorade cooler over coach. And I remember calling my parents, like crying, like, we made it, we did it. And well, they were there, of course, but crying with them. And, then we find out, watching the show, like we do in basketball, like, the was it the party, almost like a March Madness, a watch party. That's what it is, a watch party. And I call him like, yo, we got Arizona, University of Arizona. Like, we're going there. Like, this is amazing. What a memory to go to University of Arizona, who's won World Series. The coach is the Olympic coach. So all excited. I call my parents. I'm like, hey, blah, 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 this weekend, got to fly out. They're like, okay. Cousin, why'd I forget about the time zone? Totally gave him the wrong time. Now I got to call back. They're like, Grace, the time zone's different. I think it's like 2 hours. I know Cali's 3, but I think Arizona's like 2. And they're like, oh my God, and praise God. Back then, like my dad was telling me, he's like, no, everything worked out. You could go to the airport back then and just, I want to go here, and they'll get you out. Yep. So, Auntie Shirley, my godmother, rest in peace, miss her dearly. Auntie Shirley was able to watch my sister, and my mom and dad flew out, and they were able to watch us. And, we beat a team, which is great. And then, we got knocked out. It was dumb elimination. We lost to like the team that ended up playing in the championship anyway. So to say that's pretty cool. Yep. That last game, I remember, wow, this is it for me. Like, this is it. Like, what do you do? Like, my dad always told me, like, what are you going to replace that void with? And, I really want to touch upon that. A lot of people replace that void with, drugs, alcohol, some other things. And find something else that you can put that passion in, And my dad always mentioned that. He was like, I don't want you to ever go down any path. He was like, you just got to replace that passion. So I was asked to do a clinic, a camp, and Natasha Watley was there. For those of you that don't know Natasha Watley is the best softball player ever. The first African-American female. She was actually a track star, was going to, go in the Olympics for track, but she's from California. But she does softball. And she was at the camp. I got to meet her. I got to meet everyone. And, people started asking who I was, personality, the Grace. And I got offered a contract right then and there to play for the Philadelphia Force. And I was like, wait, whoa. Now, this is after playing for the Harlem Diamonds when I got the phone call. So it was like the Harlem Diamonds, the Philadelphia Force, and then the New England Riptides, but I tore my hamstring, season, career ended. Harlem Diamonds was, if those of you that know, King in His Court. King in His Court was 5 men, and they actually came to, as you know, Cousin Charlie, New Bedford, where Mayor Kalis. It was kind of funny. But no one could beat the pitcher, Eddie Ferringer, I think it is. He would pitch from second base, underhand, striking out so many people. And the women decided to do the same thing. So they created a Harlem Diamonds. It was a softball show. It was just 5 of us. So you would have a pitcher, a catcher, 2 outfielders, and then you would have a first baseman, which is very difficult. You have 1 infielder, pitcher, catcher, and 2 outfielders, or 1 outfielder. 1 outfielder, shortstop, first baseman, pitcher, catcher. So you have 1 outfielder that controls the whole field. So talk about experience. We traveled everywhere. We traveled via van. I know Cousin Charlie, who was amazing, always a supporter, tried to get me to New Bedford. I know it didn't work, but we raised funds. We played against police teams, firefighters, anything to raise funds and awareness. So that was a great opportunity. When that came to me, I was like, oh, wow, me? You want me? Like, wow, that was cool. And then that's where Philadelphia Force got my name. And then they offered me the contract right then and there in front of like the whole camp. So then I got to play professionally under the NPF, which was a great experience. Got to go against Peaches James, Stephanie Van Braco was on my team, Natasha Watley, Jenny Finch was in the league. And then with the Riptides getting injured of their tryout. But professionally, like for people that actually go pro and play. Cousin Bonzi, love you, so proud of you. Marcus Wills, who should have been the first in the NBA. Marcus Wills is a legend. Rudy Bogart, these are Tion Pina, legends. Marcus Wills, like, representing us in Cabo Verde and playing pro. Like, but again, Cousin Bonzi, what he does, the amount of talent, the amount of hot. We're always being told that we can become and do whatever we want, but people don't want to put in that work. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of no's. Put it that way. It's a lot of people saying, no, you can't, you won't. But it's getting, like my mom says, deleting all those voices in your head that can become louder and louder. So you can do whatever you want, and they told me I would never play Division I. They said I would never go to college. But again, it's having that small cohort, that family member, the people in your life that can tell you that, yes, you can. So those are my experience with that. And, I will always remember.
So, great experiences. I loved, following you.
Thank you. I loved you following me.
Yeah. Let's go back a little ways,
Okay.
for senior year at high school, and your senior year, last part of it, and you're making a decision to go to the prom, and you go with Isaiah Holtman.
Yes.
So,
Hi,
did you
Isaiah.
did your father ask to drive the limo?
Well, it's funny that you said that. My prom, I didn't get to enjoy any of my dances because, again, thank you, Mom, Dad, Tyson. They sacrificed. What people don't understand is how much my family sacrificed. Cousin Charlie, you never saw me any summer. I never had a summer to myself. My parents never had an anniversary, a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, birthdays out the window because we were always traveling with Bay State Cardinals, Coach Teddy Lima, Nancy Lima, and all them. But we traveled everywhere. We drove. We were always on the go. So I'm going to my senior prom now. I'm in a dress. Everyone's like, what? Lynsey J. Grace in a dress? Like, because, being a jock, I didn't really wear dresses like that. So Isaiah's always been, my date. Love him dearly. Isaiah, I'm going to need you again for the reunion, if you don't mind. Thank you. Call me. All right, thanks. So we would go to the prom, and I get out. I think we got the limo. We had a crew with the limo. My dad's like, oh, I'll take. No, you're not, Dad. No, you're not. But everyone knew Buffett already knew who my dad was, so it was kind of tough dating, if you know what I mean. So thanks, Dad. But Isaiah and I got out. Everyone taking pictures because, again, I'm in a dress. And then Isaiah and I had to do the first dance on the floor, and we're all like, nervous and stuff. But I actually had a curfew, so I was home before midnight for prom because we were leaving 5 a.m. that next morning to go to, I think, Illinois. So for softball. So I had my nails and I'm like trying to peel them off like the whole night packing. And remember when you came in the house, Cousin Charlie, you thought someone broke in? So I'm looking for my uniform. How about you tell them that story?
I was like, hey, Uncle, man, I think someone broke into your house, man. Lindsay's room's a mess. Clothes all over the place. I was like, I said,
Man.
I can't. I go in the room and now I'm like, I'm against the wall like this so I can make sure I don't mess up anything. This is a crime scene now. Like,
I couldn't find my jersey, cousin. I could not find. I threw, as you know, threw everything upside down. End up finding it, but yes. So my prom was definitely most memorable because again, I didn't get to enjoy it because it was always everything was sports my whole life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like loving basketball. Like my boyfriend was Spalding, or my boyfriend was a softball or volleyball. Like it was always like that.
That's what I said. I always told Sinead that your boyfriend is Wilson and Spalding.
Yes. Hey, cousin Shanae, love you. Proud of you. Also, another legend with basketball. Loved her A game. So, keep doing well.
That's it. Sinead was she was into it instantly. 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. Give her a basketball, she loved it.
Always shooting. Always.
Yeah. So, and at that point that she was playing at the high school, I was coaching at Bishop Sting, so I missed a lot of her games. So
I think I caught a couple because remember I was at college, but when I would come home, I would always see her during the winter break. So,
Yeah.
always being, that loud Grace, but
Mhm.
so proud of her, so proud of all of my cousins, all of them. So,
This guy here, Michael Kahn said, "Damn, Charlie, we are family. I am not happy now. I have to sing away. Well, if you, why don't you go downtown and go sing at the bus terminal or something? Light a fire in a 55-gallon drum.
I have
Put
your first $5. I got you.
yeah, put some Motown on your phone and start singing, Michael.
Oh
You know,
yes, love
yeah.
Motown.
I had a good time on his show yesterday, and Michael Kahn's doing a good things with Sports Connor, and thanks to him, I got into podcasting. Him and Brian Magnet, those guys coming on a weekly basis,
Oh well,
kind of.
thank you, Michael Kwan. Nice meeting you.
Hey, so all right, so
Well,
you,
cousin, I gotta interrupt you because most people don't know the type of athlete you was.
oh, hey,
I remember watching you. My dad taking my sister and I watching you in the softball field. I've never seen anybody hit the way you hit. Uncle Cocky coaching, man, rest in peace, Uncle Cocky. But cousin Charlie watching you play basketball, but you're hitting. I remember you hit this bomb. For all of you that don't know, cousin Charlie was legit in softball. These are like 400 feet home runs. Like these aren't just little league field home runs. So that always inspired me. Also watching you with the love of the game and you being an athlete, watching you playing basketball like my dad. You and my dad will always be playing basketball with his finger roll. He always try to teach me the finesse finger roll back, behind the back pass. But watching you guys play and having that love and playing, for so long, it was awesome and a blessing. So
yeah, thank you very much. One of my favorite teammates in basketball is actually on his feet right now, and that's David Consaccio, and
I
it's
did.
so he definitely. I like to get him on my podcast. He's always doing other podcasts. He doesn't. I honestly think that he just stays away from me. Because I know the truth about him. I know the truth. I know the secrets about him. And
David, you need to get on my cousin's podcast now. Come on.
yeah, he's slacking. I want to talk to everybody about Coco Consaccio. You don't know that story, but
Well,
but
I'm rooting for you. I want David. I want Coach Tony Esteves. I want my dad. So pay it forward like the bucket challenge. Come on now, I'm challenging y'all to be on this amazing podcast with my cousin Charlie. Really, Charlie Perry.
yeah, that's right. See, you said it. That's good. Um,
I got you, cousin Michelle.
David, check out David. He said you better stop right now.
Whenever he
Yeah,
wants.
yeah, we got to get him on here.
All right, deal.
We
And I
got
know you
to,
said Alita said hello. Thank you, Alita. Love you. I know she said hello. I don't know if I said hello, so I just want to say
yeah.
hello.
We seen Michelle and I seen our son Kevin today. He looked great.
Oh, okay,
Look
good.
awesome. He looked awesome.
Excellent.
So
But
happy
cousin,
to
if you
see him.
don't mind, if I can again, not to cut you off, but I do want to just make sure that I give everybody a shout out from my mom's side of the family. Begin with Nana, Ma, Papa Norris. We have Auntie Mimi, of course, Auntie Hilda, Auntie Godmother Shirley. We miss you dearly. Auntie Dolores, Auntie Nancy, Uncle Junior, Uncle Richard, and Uncle Wayne, whose Uncle Wayne has always made it to graduation, undergrad and grad. So love all of you dearly. My dad's side, of course, my Nana Fanny, Philomena, my Papa, Frank Grace, who passed away recently, it'll be a year coming up. My Uncle Pocky Frank Grace, who, as you know, along with the Perrys, established a lot, fought for New Bedford and the free meals with Black Panthers. So thank you, Uncle Ross, who passed away, rest in peace. Uncle Anthony, who is in Florida, love you dearly, and most importantly, my Auntie Chloe, who gave me the nickname Family Fam. Love all of you dearly and all my cousins. So thank you for everything.
Awesome. Awesome. Yep. Well, great praise, well deserved praise to all of
Thank you.
them, because they were They were there. They were there for your wellness. They were there for, you know, your
Yes.
wellness, being mentally, physically, and definitely teaching you what you definitely know now, but you got great, you know, intermediate family with your mom and dad, very supportive of you.
Thank
Um, I can't even joke around about you, without, you know,
you. You get that phone call, cousin.
your mother, your mother. Every time I joke around, she wants to punch me,
The frying pan. She always trying to hit
Yeah,
someone with that frying pan.
yeah,
She's like,
and
Lindsay, I'll get that frying pan. I'm like, where's the frying pan? What do you keep it in your purse?
trying to hit me, and she was my social worker, years ago. She probably stuffed me in the trunk,
Yeah.
Charlie,
Well,
come
cousin,
here.
it's funny that you say that. So, my mom, it's funny that this was a segue. My mom never, like, my mom wanted to be a tap tap dancer, ballerina, the girly stuff. Well, when I played basketball, this was in junior high school. She would always be known for her heels. She always wore her heels, and the way she walked, you knew she was around. Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you, Miss Mary. And I got hurt. I got injured. I was always getting injured because you know how aggressive I am. So I'm on the floor, and all you hear is, "Ooh, Lindsay, your mom's coming," and you hear, and she yelled at the coach to take me out of the game, and he did. And I'm yelling at him like, "What are you taking me?" He was like, I'm afraid of your mother."
Yeah,
And long story short, he took me out the game. I was benched the rest of the time. I said, "Ma, you can't come to no more games." So she would come to volleyball and softball, but she would never come to basketball at New Bedford High. But Tyson was always my number one fan, still is. So love you,
yeah,
beautiful.
that's it.
Yep.
We gotta get your mother those like those cat glasses from like the 50s,
Oh,
60s. Like
yes.
get so she can look at people like this.
Yes, we have to. Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna look on Amazon as soon we get off.
Yeah. So the
I love it.
so you graduate, play professional softball, you do all that, and you end up going to Lincoln, you end up coaching, you do a few things. Where was you actually coaching after? We know about at the high school, with Coach Lowe and all that, but later on at collegiate level, where was you coaching at?
Yes, so great question. Again, thank you, Coach Harry Lowe, for enabling me to have that opportunity to coach at a varsity level with New Bedford High School. It was an honor. I was then able to receive a phone call when I came back after the pro circuit from Temple University to receive my master's degree, which is graduate school. So I had the opportunity to become a graduate assistant. With that being said, it's 2 years. You're an assistant coach, but they pay for your graduate school. So I coached Temple University. I was able to go back to my alma mater and become the outfield coach, which was an honor, under the tutelage of Coach Casey Dixon, who actually played for University of Oklahoma. So that was an experience I received. 2 years of experience with Temple University. I went on to do a speaking engagement, part of the Black Women in Sports Foundation, which is an amazing organization, along with YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. I try to stay active and engaged in a lot of organizations throughout Philadelphia. But Black Women in Sports Foundation, I sit on their board, and they wanted me to speak. And I said, absolutely. So I went to Rutgers University with Coach Vivian Stringer, got to be in the gymnasium. I was like, oh, this is Coach Stringer. Oh my God. So I'm sitting down, young, not really knowing. I was like, oh, I'm going to come back home. I'm done with graduate school. And, that's when I applied to become a state trooper and for Pennsylvania. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to do this, but I really miss my family. So after the athletic director at the time at Lincoln University, Mrs. Dianthea Fordkey, who is like a second mother to me, an amazing mentor who has made me a lot of who I am right now, like in regards to working, always having that bar set high. She missed it. I think something conflicting with her schedule. But lo and behold, I get a phone call. And I'm like, I got an email first and a phone call. And I'm like, I don't answer numbers I don't know. But the email was like, hey, I loved your story. I heard about you. Can you please, are you interested in becoming a Division II coach? Well, at the time, I was like young. I mean, I don't even think I was 23, maybe 23-ish. And I said, huh? Oh, like a head coach? Like, I'm young. I don't have that experience. I was just an assistant coach. So I went to the interview and I was offered the job. And I was the youngest female coach in history for Division II. So coached the Lincoln University, the first HBCU. Everyone thinks it's Cheney, but no, it's Lincoln University. I was able to coach softball and volleyball for 2.5 years. And that's when Ollie Johnson and Rogers Gillespie, for those of you that don't know, the Ollie Johnson, played at Temple University and played in the NBA for like 12, 13 years, 76ers, Chicago Bulls. Matter of fact, I owe you and Uncle Wayne, Uncle Bobby a basketball. I haven't forgotten y'all, signed by him. But I did my graduate internship with them at the Community College of Philadelphia.
What year was that?
What's that?
What year was that?
That was 2007 to 2009. So now this is already like 2012 that we're talking about, like 2.5 years being at Lincoln.
So it took you all that time to get us a basketball.
Yeah. Life happens. It's coming though. Like my dad said, as long as you owe me, you'll never be broke.
Yeah.
It's in the mail.
Yeah.
It's in the mail. But he actually drove. He drove all the way to Lincoln. Lincoln's like an hour and a half, cousin. And he offered me the opportunity to be the first female athletic administrator at a community college. And I was like, huh? I was like, I'm not crossing over to the dock side, we call it in athletics, because you're an administrator. Like, I love coaching. I have fun. You have responsibility, but it's not like, oh, okay, now you're responsible for all the coaches and all the student athletes. So I went to the interview. I was offered the position. And the rest is history. I started community college I was at the Community College of Philadelphia from 2012 until present. But to answer your question, coached 2007, 2009, Temple University, 2009 to 2012, because it was like the fall. So it was 2.5 years because I came in the spring for CCP. For 2.5 years, 2.5 years for Lincoln, volleyball and softball. And then Temple, Lincoln, and then Community College Philadelphia, where I'm an administrator still.
Man, you're making a lot of money. You ever pay your parents back?
You know what? Every Christmas I try to. I try to use my Best Buy card.
You can't keep giving your father a Burger King gift certificate.
Yo, Tyson, they love their Burger King.
You're never gonna catch up. You're
right. You're right. I know it's been I still can't. I have a lot of gray hair. You can't see. The lighting is perfect. So thank you for this podcast. But I am literally like strand gray, like just gray. But I love it. And like what you said, it's funny. I want to touch back upon what you stated about, Dave Consatio, like, any given opportunity he would go back. And I can truly say yes. I can't speak for him, but yes, because I know you're enlightening. The best advice at New Bedford High School that has become my mantra is the choices you make today can and shape your world for tomorrow. It's spewing those seeds of greatness into people, allowing our student athletes to matriculate to the 4-year, to know that they have somebody in their corner. So I love it. Hey, Jenny, love you. Yeah. How did I forget Jenny? Jenny from Owello. Hey, yes, Jenny. Oh, we have stories. Jenny is another person, what she does in the community. So thank you.
Yes, she is always volunteering, always doing what she has to, and that comes from her family. That.
Yes, amazing family, amazing. Yeah. Thank you for your service with her son. So I know her son serves as well. So thank you.
Yeah, she just stepped in line, as her elders were, doing the same thing when they were her age, and she got past the torch. So good job, Jen. Good job,
Thank you, Jenny. Miss you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for all those songs when we would go in Kajanga.
So what's your next step? What's your next goal? What's your next inspiration, aspiration? What are you gonna do?
The question is amazing. It's a question that I feel a lot of people think is so easy. I'm going to use what my dad always says. I'm a kid. I don't want to grow up. I do, but I'm 38. Praise God. Uh, About to finish my doctorate. So that was that was a long road, but coming up on expiration. So through God's amazing grace, we'll be done with that. But again, I've always had the passion for law enforcement. It's still in my blood. Wherever God may take me, to that next phase, or if I'm meant to be in higher administration, senior level administrator in a college level, like, maybe become a president one day out of college, or, stick around in sports. I know people are like, oh, you should come back coaching. It's hard because just like you, my dad, me, like our families, like we play hard. It's either, go hard or go home. And no
Hmm.
disrespect to this generation. I can't speak for everyone, but remember, I'm a millennial also. Okay. I'm the eldest of the millennials. You fought. If you didn't get a bloody nose or a bleeding lip, like you knew you didn't have a good game.
Yeah.
And coaching dwindled. The parents are more so controlling it. The kids, and I say kids because I mean an adult shouldn't be, a man or a woman shouldn't be talking back to your coach if they're
Yeah.
trying to help you. So it's different. Again, I'm just generalizing from the reason why I'm not coaching anymore. It just got to the point. Why are you watching your dad? Why are you listening to your dad? And I'm your coach, and I have
Hmm.
a pitching coach who played, at that professionally helping you. So,
Yeah.
but again, if God calls whatever He has for me, I'm surely not going to say no.
Yeah. You'll be good at whatever you do, no matter what. I know
Oh,
that.
thank you
Many
very much.
people know that.
Thank you.
And maybe you can go home and count Tyson's money for her.
Listen, go ahead, Tyson. Your sister
That
needs a loan
that's a fu- that's a full
without
time job,
interest.
man. Uh,
and,
we
and and a lot of people, my sisters, I couldn't ask for a better sister. And I mean that. I love my sister to the moon and back dearly. She is always my number one fan, still remains my number one fan. There's no bad day with her.
Yeah.
If I'm having a down day, like she will always lift me up with her smile, like, hey, beautiful. Like, everyone knows that in the community. Everyone knows I'm Tyson's sister. Like my dad
Yeah.
would be like, oh, I'm Lynsey's dad. Like, yeah, I'm Tyson's sister. It's not, oh, that's Lynsey's sister. No, you're Tyson's sister. And that's absolutely
Yeah.
correct. So
That's
thank
good.
you, Tyson Ray, Grace with the beautiful face.
Yeah. She's definitely good spirited and loves.
Yes.
She's gives me text messages daily. Happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, and
Yeah.
I don't mind it. But most of the time, I can't call. I can't talk to her because she's calling while I'm working or something like that. But
Yes.
at least I
And she
try to.
understands. She
Yeah, I try
understands.
to respond. Hey, let's tell a story about Tyson. We can't leave her out, right?
Okay. Yes, I would love
All
that.
right. Remember in Rockdale West, and
Oh.
all right. So in that famous apartment, infamous apartment, not famous. Sorry. So we were sitting there, your fathers and mothers, you know, huge sectional. We're all
Yep.
hanging
Remember
out
the
there,
sectional?
and so the funniest thing is that your mom and dad they say, "All right, Tyson, Lynsey, you go to bed at 7:45, and Tyson, you go to bed at 8 o'clock." And Tyson gets mad.
Yep.
I want to go to bed at 7:45 with, with Lynsey. So
Yep.
yeah, I was
You're absolutely right.
dying.
She was mad. She loved going to bed. That sun
Yeah,
will still be out. She's like, I'm going to bed. Me, I'm like, give me midnight. Now
yeah,
I'm racing to go to bed at 7.
yeah. So, that's one
Yeah, she's
story
funny.
I love.
She could tell
So
stories all night.
yeah. So I have normally I'm not saying this at the end, but I want to talk about this. Is I ask my guests every podcast, who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
Okay.
And just give me one name, two names, whatever. But who would you like to see on this podcast? And maybe I can reach out to them.
Ooh, well, I already mentioned, Coach Tony Esteves, Mr. Casaccio, my dad, of course, but I would love to see cousin Rosemary Perry, love to see cousin Shanae. But let's go further back. Would love to see Janelle Ferguson, Christina Aka, Tiffany Goodine. Nothing against the men or anything, but I would love to see, those women on the show, just so they can speak, or Raven Pina, like, women that I looked up to, as a
Hmm.
freshman. Like, everybody used to go to the games for Janelle Ferguson and, Tiffany Goodine, Christina Aka. I think it said Sammy Aka, but Sammy's the brother, the sister, Christina
Yeah.
Aka, Raven Pina, Debbie Souza. These are like names that took basketball, volleyball, softball to the ultimate level. So it would be nice. Again, Rosemary Perry, Shantae Soares, people like that would be really cool.
Yeah. Rosemary, she's already said that she would come on. We just gotta pick a
Sweet.
date. We gotta pick a date, and
That'd be
you
great.
know, she's got some law studies to do, so I understand
Yes.
that. And uh,
Shout
Janelle,
out to Cousin Rosemary doing her thing.
yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
Very
She's
proud.
doing, yeah. So we're gonna have fun with her. Um, Dave Consaccio said would love to see her dad, Mr. Arnold Grace, on it. Yeah, we're trying, but he keeps referring me. He says, "Hey, Charlie, just talk to my people, man. Talk to my people. Yeah,
Thank you,
people.
Dave.
Yeah." He said, "People."
Yeah,
Dave's
yeah, yeah.
Dave's the same way. He always referring me, "Hey, call my wife, call my people. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
go on your podcast." Trying to get him on here with the Ice Crew, you
Oh.
know. But Dave's let me down. He's just, and I always passed it to him on the court, because I relied on him. I knew he would score. He would
Yeah.
do something, But I asked him to get a couple of individuals on my podcast,
Oh.
like the Ice Crew, and he leaves me hanging. Yeah. Hey,
Come on, Dave.
hey, this is a story with Dave, right? I call his house, right, and so I said, "Hey, Dave, man, what's up with the Ice Crew coming on the podcast?" He said, and he's like, "Oh, bad connection, bad connection." I was like, "Dave, I called your landline.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not a cell
You can't get
phone."
out of that.
Yeah, it's like, leave me. So,
That's
uh, yeah,
funny. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love
that's
it.
it. We got a few hellos. Glad you're doing well. Like he
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Love y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wade saying
Oh,
color stars.
Cousin Wade.
Yeah, dope
Cousin Wade
story.
Allen's another one, man. Watching him playing basketball, like, oh, he could go for days. But I'm very proud of Cousin Wade Allen, all he's doing as well. So
Yeah,
love you, cousin. He was an athlete. Oh man, he was an athlete too.
yeah. Well, one of my great
Mika.
experience, my great you know, experiences with Wade was at UMass. He went to UMass Dartmouth, but before that, he ended up participating in a track meet there. And he had more medals than Jesse Owens, at the Olympics. He's
Man, Cousin
running,
Wade Allen was fast.
he's running that track. So
Remember
proud.
him again?
Yeah, proud of him. Yep,
Like,
yeah,
remember his
and
nostrils?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cousin Wade Allen was fast.
You ever had nails? You scratch his chest all
Yeah.
up.
It was fun playing with him and cousin Tamika. Oh man, she could play, she could ball too. But man, our family is just like full of athletes. Cousin Frankie played for UMass Dartmouth football.
Yeah,
So
we
I
got
mean, we're stocked. We're very stocked. Cousin Romaine, can't forget my cousin Romaine, cousin Ryan. They actually
yeah,
have state championship rings. So
they got a lot. Romaine, he got almost as much rings as Michael Jordan. So the
man,
I like to get that crew, that '90s crew. Get them on
that'd
here,
be
and
awesome.
but we'll do it.
That'd be great.
Dave says.
That'd be great.
Dave says, "Don't believe him."
I
And
don't believe him.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Really, Charlie?
hey, Charlie, yeah,
That was perfect, Dave. That was perfect.
yeah. We got TJ Jules,
Oh,
my man.
Hey, Juice.
That's it, my man. Proud of him too. So
Proud of, man. I remember bragging about DJ Jules when he would start off. Remember when he would bring his DJ equipment, in his car everywhere. He'd be like, "Hey, Wade Allen be right there with him, lugging
that's
out the
it.
stuff." He did our reunion, high school reunion, 10-year reunion, because we're the same class. But DJ Jules, keep up the great thing when you on 94.5. I don't know if you're still on it, but we're so proud of you, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. You, as a small kid, he had those goals and aspirations and did it. So good job.
Yeah.
Is
Tamika
that my
saying,
cousin?
and game up. Listen, I don't want none of you guys playing basketball no more because I know how you and Tamika are.
I'm ready. Let's talk about
Listen,
cousin Tamika at Vogue. They were
no,
afraid of cousin Tamika. She legit.
listen, you guys start making fouls where yeah, it's a stat, but I don't want you guys hurting each other. Your family,
Listen,
love and peace, man.
cousin Tamika, me, Shanae, Rosemary, we can do this.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can do this.
yeah. I'm gonna podcast it. I'm gonna have
All
some fun,
right. Let's go. Love you, cousin. Love you. So proud of all you're doing also, cousin Tamika. Love you dearly.
and then I'm gonna podcast the day after because I know you all gonna be hungover.
Now we didn't say it was like, hold on, we gonna be playing against older people, right?
Yeah,
Let's
that's
get it.
it.
Let's
All
get
right.
it. I know
Uh,
people listening out there. We got the Shionas, the Lashanas, we got the Perrys, we got everyone. Let's go grab your sneakers. Let's go. Oh, wait, who are bullies on the court? Oh, that you and I were bullies.
the bullies. Yeah.
Dang. Maybe just a
Uh,
little.
yeah, I know.
That's
It's all
funny.
right.
Cousin, before I forget, can I just give a shout out to first of all, I want to take this opportunity to when I was inducted into New Bedford High School Hall of Fame, the class of 2016, which I shared with amazing people. Definitely want to take this opportunity to thank God, first and foremost, my parents, my sister, Coach Kenny Soares, Miss Beverly Brazzaro, and my auntie Rhoda Purcell, for just putting everything out there. They believed in me and they put it forward, and thanks to all of them is the reason why I was inducted. I mean, because their words and what they believed in. So thank you. I don't know if I did receive the opportunity to thank you personally, but just want to say thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Lynsey Grace. And it's
Oh, thank you.
this Joey Gonzalez says my Kendra doesn't have Facebook, but asked to say hi. I love you, Kendra
Oh, Kendra.
Gonzalez.
Yes, we can't forget to go. Kendra, I love you too, Kendra. Thank you. You're on the
Yeah,
team too. Kendra on our
yeah,
team also.
that's it. She's doing
Yes, that
good
was
things.
all the way
Good,
days.
doing great things. She's
Thank you.
raising a fine young man there,
Yes, yes.
Adrian. So she's doing well.
Good
The
job, Kendra.
All right, cuz we can do this again. We can have a part two. Like I always have that open invitation for my guests that do come
Would
on,
love to. Would
and
love to.
we can do whatever. If Coach Staley comes up to Temple from South Carolina, man, just
Oh,
listen,
love that.
just just stop everything you have. Just go put your phone in your hand,
Deal.
text me, say, "Hey Charlie, Coach is here. She's here, right?" And I'll just send you that StreamYard link, and we'll
Yes,
do we'll do open podcasts like flash podcasts. Me,
we're doing it.
Coach
We're doing it.
Staley, and
I'm gonna
Lindsay.
stop her.
And Lindsay, you don't even have to stay in the background. You can stay on the side, and
You
we'll
like
put
this?
you on it. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Go in the background, yeah, doing all that things. But
No, this was great because, and I also forgot Kristen Gonzalez I played with, and Rebecca Rodriguez for the teams also. So I don't want
yeah,
to leave Ashley Montero. Don't want to leave too many people out. Kendra, but thank you to everyone. And again, if I left anybody out, I apologize. 38 gray hairs, but cousin, from the bottom of my heart, love you dearly. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you for having me, cousin. And you're doing big things. I love it. You can always have me back for round two, God willing.
all right. Yeah, Rebecca and Gretchen, I like to get them on it too.
Yes, and Gretchen. Yes,
Yeah. So,
yes.
but we're gonna do a lot. continue to do this podcast on, someone had talked to me yesterday about doing getting on another network. Thanks to Michael Kahn, so I might be adding another piece to this.
Oh, that'd be
So
great.
we're doing all we can, and we'll go we'll go from there. So
Okay.
God bless,
God
and
bless you also. Thank you,
and
fans and viewers
hey,
and everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
don't forget, you're thinking about buying a house, speak to a friend of mine, a son-in-law of mine, Baldi Korea. You can,
Baldy.
bu- yeah, buy a house, sell a house, whatever. Make sure you reach out to him. You
Thank
know,
you.
I'm talking about you, Lindsay. You just, that money that you got under that
I get
cushion.
all my phones from Baldy too, so I might as well get a
uh,
house also.
yeah, that money under your cushion, just pull it out. It's your down payment. It'll be all set.
Well, God willing, I would definitely reach out to cousin Baldi.
Uh,
Definitely. He knows what he's talking about, and I definitely trust him in regards to the house. But you didn't hear? I'm moving in with you and cousin Michelle.
that's fine. You can take Tania's old room. No big deal.
Okay.
Just
Cousin Tania, love you, miss you. You're doing big things also. So proud of you, cousin. But I'll take your room also, cousin. Okay.
yeah, you make sure you clean it just in case the police come in. I don't think it's a crime scene.
Now you know I don't like to clean, cousin. Hence the way you saw my room when I was looking for
Hey,
my uniform.
no, that's you know what? We're all set. Michelle's here. We're all set.
Okay.
They can clean it. All right.
This was
All
awesome. Thank you so much, cousin. Thank you for having me. God bless you. Love you.
right. Love you. Take care, and God bless. All right.
Thank you. All right. Love you guys. God bless. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, cousin. Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining the Really Charlie podcast, and our guest, Lynsey Grace. Very, very proud of her. Definitely did some good things at New Bedford High School, along with Temple, Harlem Diamonds, Philadelphia Force. It just goes on. Lincoln. She went on to. She's doing great things, and we haven't heard the last of Lynsey J. Grace. So continue to watch out for her, and you know, like to get her home. It's nice to be close to family, but we'll see. It's all up to her and what she wants to do. Let's see. Tomorrow's guest will be Shane Burgle, running for councilor at large for the city of New Bedford. We will have him on, and he explains to us and tell us why he's a good candidate for councilor at large here in the city of New Bedford. So another good show coming up. This was a great show. So glad to have Lynsey on here. And stay tuned to the Really Charlie podcast on a weekly basis. Once, twice, three times, sometimes four times a week. It all depends. Just trying to get your story out there. All right. God bless. Stay blessed. Take care.